Let's talk about no credit check business loan from online lenders. So I want you to pay attention to this review here. So the first such lender is OnDeck. So if you're looking for a no credit check business loan from an online lender, OnDeck is really a great contender here. And what we love about OnDeck is that they're very generous. You're looking at $5,000 to $250,000. So that's really great because this delta gives you a lot of flexibility. And we love the fact that in terms of minimum credit score, they actually they do not check your credit score at all. They will actually look at the other information from your business, and this is really cool. And so OnDeck offers their loans for up to 24 months. You can also access the credit limits of $6,000 to $100,000 through its line of credit with a 12-month repayment term that resets after each withdrawal. So you have a business loan, but you also have a business line of credit. So what are the pros and cons here? The pros first, you have term loans from $5,000 to $250,000, lines of credit from $6,000 to $100,000. You have same-day funding, so this is really good in terms of flexibility. This is really fantastic. And in cases where they check your credit, they have low minimum credit score requirements. So this is kind of cool, especially if you have a new business or you have an existing business that's currently going through some rough patches, financially speaking. So this is a non-exhaustive list of all the pros. What about the cons here? In most cases, OnDeck wants you to have a $100,000 minimum annual revenue requirements. So $100,000, that's actually gross income. So they will actually ask you to send them an updated copy of your income statement, and it has to have at least $100,000. And you must have been operating for at least 1 year. And so if you're looking for a no credit check business loan from OnDeck, 1 year at least, and but they do not lend to businesses in North Dakota. So right now they don't have a banking license in that state yet. So overall, you can apply and receive a decision from OnDeck on the same day. And the cool thing is you can apply for this loan online. So in terms of a no credit check business loan from an online lender, OnDeck is really a very generous, fast, and flexible lender to consider. Next, you have a fund through. So if you're thinking about a no credit check business loan from an online lender, fund through is actually a great candidate to think about. And fund through is actually great for invoice factoring. And loan amounts actually go from $500 to $10 million. So we're speaking here about invoice factoring. So basically, the loan amount of $10 million actually is collateralized by the value of the underlying invoices. Okay, and no minimum credit score is required. And so we love that. And loans can extend up to $10 million. And the lender actually offers funding speeds that reportedly are 97% faster than other invoice factoring companies. And factoring rates range from 2.5% to 5%, and there are no additional financing fees. So in terms of financial inflows and cash inflows and cash outflows, you're able to manage your cash better. And that said, borrowers may encounter additional fees for early invoice payments and same-day funding. So this is an important element to think about. What are the pros and cons of a fund through here? The pros first. Well, you have funding speeds 97 to 98% faster than competitors. I mean, this is important because you are in an industry where cash flow is king or queen for that matter. You want to really receive your cash fast, okay? And this lender offers next day funding, and you have no financing fees. So this is really fantastic. What about the cons here? Fees apply for early invoice payments because the fund through just wants to make sure that they're able to collect a little bit of interest, okay? And invoices must be less than 90 days old to qualify. So they want to make sure that there's an element of maturity, invoice maturity, before you can actually apply for this no credit check business loan from this online lender. And you also have now the setup, the same day funding requires an additional fee, and also in some cases requires a specific setup. So fund through actually reviews the applicant's business bank account and accounting software to evaluate cash flow instead of requiring a credit check. This information also informs the funding limit a borrower qualifies for. Invoices must be less than 90 days old to be eligible here. So this is kind of cool and fantastic. Next, you have Square Loans. And Square Loans is a great no credit check business loan from an online lender. And Square Loans is great for Square sellers. So you got to have an existing relationship with Square to actually qualify for this loan. Actually, you have to be using Square's POS, among other things. And the loan amounts here go from $300 to $250,000. And there's no APRs here. Square charges a one-time fixed fee, okay? And there's no minimum credit score actually, because Square is paying attention to your transactional volume to actually set the loan amount that you can qualify for. And so we love the fact that you got to be an eligible seller though. When we talk about Square, you got to be an eligible Square seller. But once you actually are an eligible seller, the process is very simple, and the lending decisions require no credit check. There are no interest rates, but borrowers are charged a fixed fee based on the loan amount. That said, Square Loans doesn't publish its fees online, and loans are repaid out of the business's daily sales, and the balance must be repaid within 18 months of disbursement. So 18 months. So be very careful about the loan amount you request actually. What are the pros and cons of Square Loans? The pros first. Personal guarantee is not required, so no PG. No late fees or other additional fees. It's an important element to remember that. And their application process is reportedly streamlined. So it's something to really think about also. What about the cons here? Well, maximum borrowing amounts are low. They do not publish fixed fees, and daily payments reduce ongoing cash flow. So if this is an important element for you, you might not like this aspect of things. So, but overall, businesses must have processed at least $10,000 with Square over the last year to be eligible. And eligibility is also based on other business factors, including the company's account history, payment processing volume, and payment frequency. Okay, and Square Loans offers funding as soon as the next business day. So it's really good in terms of funding flexibility and also speed. Square is a great contender. Next, you have a PayPal working capital loan. PayPal working capital loan is kind of similar to Square in the sense that you got to have a transactional volume with PayPal. Okay, this is best for PayPal users. So loan amounts actually go from $1,000 all the way to $200,000, and there is no APR. So they also are similar to Square in the sense that they charge a one-time fixed fee, and there is no minimum credit score. So it's a wonderful no credit check business loan from an online lender. And so we love the fact that, basically when you are an eligible PayPal user, this whole thing streamlines the online application and approval process. Loan amounts can go up to $200,000 for first-time borrowers. $150,000 for first-time borrowers, and from $1,000 to $200,000 for subsequent loans. So first time, 150, second time or third time or whatever, it has to be a 200,000. What are the pros and cons here? The pros first. You have a single fixed fee determined by several factors, automatic repayments based on daily sales, and no payment is due on days without sales. So this is kind of cool because it gives you time to breathe. Actually, you are able to streamline your cash inflows and cash outflows. What about the cons here? Well, borrowers must use PayPal to accept customer payments. The company does not disclose fees online, and the repayment begins 72 hours after funding. So this is an important element to think about. So long story short, applicants must have a PayPal business or Premier account for at least 90 days, and the business must process at least $20,000 in annual PayPal sales with a Premier account or $15,000 with a business account. And any existing PayPal working capital loans must be paid off. Okay, so you got to really think about the flexibility that PayPal is offering you here, but you also got to make sure that you are generating enough sales to actually pay the loan on time. And PayPal reports that its working capital loans are funded within minutes of approval. So this is kind of important because they just put the cash in your account. Okay, no need. There are cases where they might even wire the funds to your banking account, but usually they just wire the money to your PayPal account. Next, you have Outline. And Outline is a great company to actually think about, especially when we analyze the outline from a credibility, but also an efficiency perspective. And this company is a great no credit check business loan from an online lender, and it's great for startups. And you have the ability to have a lender advance up to 90% of your unpaid invoices of up to $10 million. So we are speaking here about an invoice factoring lender. It's kind of similar to Fund Through, by the way. Okay. And you have factor rates starting at 0.5%. So you can see that Outline is way cheaper than Fund Through. And you have personal guarantees are required for owners of 10% or more of the business. But the reason why the factor rates are kind of small here is because Outline is an invoice factoring company operating as a division of the Southern Bank. Okay. And they have no credit score minimum, no minimum revenue requirements, and no time and business requirements, making them a great option for startups with less than stellar credit. And unlike most factoring companies, Outline is its own bank, which means what? They can lend directly to your business instead of acting as a middleman. And this can also allow them to offer lower prices and faster funding. So you have the ability to get things done a lot faster. This is really fantastic. And also one thing I want to say here is that you have the ability also to see what works and what doesn't work. And this is a great opportunity because it gives you the chance to know exactly what kind of I mean, you don't have to have a relationship with the Southern Bank, by the way. You don't have to have a relationship with them to qualify. But if you do have a relationship with them, this will help you a lot. It will help you massively, especially when it comes to renewing the invoice factoring arrangements that you were qualified for in the first place. And this is an important element, especially if you are in a field where your customers take time to actually pay you, and you need cash for working capital, you need cash to pay vendors. I mean, then having the ability to have a reliable invoice factoring company can help you in the long run. Of course, just make sure that you are thinking about the fees also, because they're charging you fees anyway. Next, you have Kiva. So Kiva is a great no credit check business loan from an online lender. And but Kiva is a micro lender. Okay. And the loan amounts here are kind of limited. You are looking at maximum $15,000. But the thing is that Kiva actually offers a unique crowdfunding platform for a wide variety of prospective borrowers. And it uses your personal network and its own network of 1.6 to 2 million investor lenders to crowdfund loans up to $15,000 with repayment terms as long as 36 months. 36 months, 3 years. Some people might say, well, this is too short. But hey, listen, at least you're getting something. So what are the pros and cons of Kiva as a no credit check business loan from an online lender? The pros first: no minimum credit score requirements. They do not require cash flow documents. And also, and this is an important element, this lender requires no collateral. So you don't have to worry about actually pledging collateral here, collateralizing the loan here. What about the cons here? Well, maximum loan amounts of $15,000. If you want more, you have to go to another lender. I mean, their lending program is kind of restrictive in that sense. All loans are crowdfunded, and you might have to have a long funding time because again, people have to back you up, right? So, and if nobody backs you up, then you could be in trouble. So because Kiva uses a crowdfunding method, it's able to offer less stringent qualification requirements. Although Kiva loans don't require a minimum credit score, cash flow documents, or collateral, borrowers are vetted or endorsed by either a local field partner, trustee, or members of the community. Okay. In terms of turnaround time, well, after you submit your application, a Kiva representative will get back to you within 10 to 15 business days. And Kiva suggests that submitting a great photo and business story will help your application make it through the review process more quickly. And once you're approved for fundraising, you have 15 days to raise funds from your own network, and then 30 days to publicly fundraise with Kiva's network of lenders. So this is kind of cool because it really vets you at several levels to make sure that you are like legit. So what is the approach here? So the thing is that when we talk about no credit check business loan from online lenders, it's important to understand that you can actually get a small business loan with bad credit. Okay, when evaluating applications, lenders often consider both a business credit score and the personal credit score of the owner. So if either of this is low, it can hurt your chances of getting approved for a loan, or it can result in higher rates if you are approved. And the different types of business loans usually require a minimum personal credit score of 600 to 670. Online lenders that offer bad credit business loans have a lower threshold, often as low as 500 to 580, which is really poor for some credit agencies and fair for others. And so building business credit may help you qualify for better terms and larger loan amounts. And this is now, as you get financing, considering these steps may help you work towards building a business credit score. So make debt payments on time all the time, and keep credit utilization low by avoiding maxed out credit lines. So of course you can get a business loan with no credit check, that's for sure. Banks and other traditional lenders, they are willing to give loans to business owners, want to be sure that the loan payments have a decent chance of being paid back. And so that means assessing the ability of an applicant for a loan to make those payments. How could a bank or other type of lending organization make such an assessment without even being able to look at the credit history of the business? Well, the challenge is clear. Now, that said, there are financing opportunities that small business owners can seek out if there is no credit check. Some lenders do offer them, but they are considered risky and often have high interest rates and origination fees. There are also actually other sources of funding for small businesses. You have no credit check personal loans. You have equipment financing. You have merchant cash advances. You have traditional small business loans also. Bottom line is you need to explore small business loans and see which one you could qualify for, depending on your geography. In other words, the area where your business is located, your demographics, the kind of target audience, customer base that you actually interact with, and also the timing. The timing in terms of your financial statements. So we're speaking about your cash flow statement, your income statements, your balance sheet, and your statement of owner's equity. And all of this will actually create an environment that really paints a picture about your business. Of course, the business credit score is important. If you don't have a business credit score, you better have a high personal credit score, that's for sure. So here are the closing arguments. In today's conversation, I spoke to you about no credit check business loans from online lenders. I gave you the review, the approach, and now the closing arguments. The review, we have a 1 on deck, number 2 fund through, number 3 square loans, number 4 PayPal working capital loan, number 5 outline, and number 6 Kiva. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.